Morning to you all. So the topic that I want to present on this morning in regards to developing the research skills in our students here at USP at foundation level, I have titled it Building Research Skills in Foundation Accounting specifically. And I'm Rosalia Fatiaki, and I'm the coordinator for the Foundation Accounting at Pacific TAFE. So the overview of my presentation this morning is outlined as developing research skills at foundation level accounting using the RSD framework, RSD incorporated assessments, and observe changes in student learning or output. I will also want to talk about the benefits and challenges faced in these types of assessments, and finally concluding with some recommendations. So, developing research skills and foundation level accounting. As we have been talking about building research skills in our students that seem to be lacking, these skills is vital for any student that goes through university to succeed. And importantly, as they enter the university, they should be introduced to these skills. And therefore, at foundation level, it is vital that they are introduced to such research skills. And of course, because the students come from high school, for those of you who are really not sure what foundation is the transition point from Form 6 or Year 12. It's the bridging between that level and the undergraduate level. And so the group of students that come through foundation are very new to this type of learning, or this type of assessments rather, in skills, research skills in particular, in their assessments. And so these assessments therefore will enhance their learning and introduce them to the progression that they would want to have got when they transit into the undergraduate program. There are two courses at foundation level, foundation accounting in particular, that I will be talking about this morning. And these two courses are AFF 01 and AFF 02. AFF 01 is offered in semester 1 and AFF 02 is offered in semester 2. And these two courses are offered across the region with enrollments of about 600 students per semester. So, moving on to the RSD framework. This framework came about to my attention in 2013, end of 2013, that's when I joined USP. And in 2014, I became a disciple of John. And I started to look into this RSD framework very seriously. Being a high school teacher, I know the type of assessments that students are engaged with. And that type of assessment is basically a 3-hour exam at the end of the year, in accounting specifically. And so I saw that there is an opportunity for me to make a change, to incorporate something different at university level, at foundation level, that will help the students to be able to learn something different and to be able to progress very smoothly into their undergraduate program. And so I saw that the 6 facets of RSD has a column which is like very basic, very prescribed at benchmark level. And that really caught my attention. I said, oh, very good. I can then take this and develop an assessment that will capture all the skills, research skills in this case, that I see will enhance independent learning, confidence in the students, teamwork, train them to be critical thinkers, improve their communication skills, and of course, professionalism. So there I have the 6 facets that I have taken from this framework and incorporated into my assessments. So these RSD incorporated assessments are in my 2 courses that I coordinate at Foundation. That's AFF 01 and AFF 02. And the marking rubrics for these assignments are provided in the students' INA, Introduction and Assignment Booklet. And also it's available on Moodle, where students can access them very, very easily. So I will take you through the assessments that I have developed at this foundation level. I'll only demonstrate to you the AFF 01, semester 1 assignment. So here is the assignment. This assignment is linked to the topic that they learn in this particular course, which is public companies. So the objectives are clearly stated on the top. I have 4 objectives that I want the students to achieve this outcome upon completion of the assignment. Right? So they are required to work in a small group or a small team and explain what public companies are, because in a layman's language, public company, a company is any business, that's a company. But in an accounting context, it's very specific. So these students are then exposed, because this is one of the most difficult topics in accounting. So I thought giving them an assessment in this topic is going to open up that small box that they come into USP with to the bigger world, and expose them to the South Pacific Stock Exchange. That's where all the public companies are listed in Fiji and in the Pacific, and look at the other details of what the company that they are studying is about. So then in that particular assignment, I've got the instructions clearly stated. So these students are exposed, right, to this company that they learn in the course book that a public companies is this definition. Now they actually go and study a real company. Before we were not able to do that, right, because our assessment is so rigid, right? Accounting, as you all know, it's calculate, calculate, calculate. There is no going and searching at basic level I am talking about, right? When they move into their undergraduate, when they are about to graduate, then they are given this exposure to go and find out. So having that knowledge at the back of my mind, I thought I can really introduce them at this level. So then in these instructions, I have outlined very clearly what they are expected to do in terms of writing the assignment, where they will get the information to be able to complete the assignment successfully, how they're going to structure, what exactly am I looking at. Remember, these are foundation students who are now exposed to these skills, and therefore I need to be very prescriptive in the information or the instructions rather that I give my students. Because at the end of the day, I want them, the product that they give me is what to my expectation, that the outcome is achieved. So information is detailed, and followed by that is the rubric. So you can see there on the far left, my far left, are the facets of research that you see in the RSD framework, embark and clarify. And I've also put in marks there. And right beside that, I have got the element of the report. This assignment requires the student to compile a report after gathering all the information in the assignment question. So in the element of report, I've actually outlined. I don't want to write me a whole page of introduction about BSP, for example, or FMF. I specifically want them to give me, in their introduction, the company, whatever company they're talking about, and their business activities, and the date that this company was formed. Now, the competency level is then further to my right. So I have class 10 as excellent, good, unsatisfactory, no evidence, right? So there are marks allocated, right? And then followed on from there, find and generate, that's the bulk of the marks, 35 marks, or it's similar to evaluate and reflect, but that's where, from the annual report, then they'll be able to pick all of these. They have to be able to read a company's annual report, specifically on the issue of shares or the shareholders' equity in this case. So moving on, then I have organize and manage. This is the structure of the report. So here, I expect them to give me a one-page report. So they need to be able to very well organize their information very well to capture everything in the assignment question in one page. So there's no irrelevant information there. Sometimes, you know, some students, even though instructions are clear, they come up with how many pages because they're not following instructions. So I have outlined to give me an excellent for organize and manage. The report should be written, properly structured, 1.15 line space and so on, in a Word document because we mark online. So all that is given there. And then to develop critical thinking, they have to be able to analyze the performance of the company, right? And then provide a recommendation based on their findings. So I am making them think beyond what they see there, right? And then followed on, because it's a group work, I have also got a document whereby they have to record their group meetings and so on. Right? So in this case, I can pick out who is not contributing to this group work, who is not in the team, and therefore they will be marked accordingly. So this is the assignment. A similar one is for AFFO2, which it has a different topic. Now, to develop that skill of confidence and creativity, I have also developed a presentation assignment only for the Rosalia students that are face-to-face mode students. So this is the rubric for the presentation. This is to build the students' confidence to stand up in the front and present their findings to the class. So in this 5% assessment, I basically am looking at confidence, creativity, and the rest because the content is already marked in their report. So this is just the rubric that, using the RSD of course, right, you have here the competency level and here clarify, find and generate and so on, right? So I have two rubrics for this assignment. Okay, so that's on the assignment for AFF 01. Now, the observed changes in students' learning, I can see that my students who has gone through this course enhance their professionalism. They are able to present the final outcome as I expected. There's improved confidence. Come semester 2, there is less knocking on my door to ask for help. And also for the 100 level accounting AF 101 is a further developed course from AFF 01, and they have a company accounting assignment, which is RSD. And in that assignment, they look at other aspects of the annual report. So my students tell me, oh, when I meet them on the corridor, now we are doing an assignment in AF 101, and we know because we have done companies in foundation. So that's how this transition has helped them with RSD work. Teamwork, they are able to establish, connect with each other, know each other in their groups that will enhance their learning. IT skills improved. Students come with, some of them don't even know what is Word document. To start with, I take them to my office and show them because the assignment requires them to type using a Word document, uploading of assignments on Moodle, searching for information using the library database. That's for the assignment in semester 2 for AFF 02. Websites to be able to complete this task. Referencing skills, they have to reference because it's also assessed and captured in the rubric. Feedback to students, on the skills that they need improvement on. Yes, through the rubric, when it's marked, I give them feedback. And one of the areas that I see that the students lack is the structure. I want a one-page report, they give me 3 pages. So come semester 2, that improves, because they know that they get marks on this. Student-centered, right? Building on these skills, students are given the task to do, and so they deliver. There's no other way. The assignment is 20%. So they know they have to really do, they can't run away from doing this assignment. Some of the benefits and challenges that I see, one of the benefits, clear marking rubric is provided in the INA or on Moodle and Moodle. Research skills are developed at very basic level and foundation. Explicit objectives are made very clear and feedback detailed to the students. Easy marking as the descriptors are provided in the rubrics. Consistency in marking. We have a team of markers and we assess them the same way. And students gain confidence with this type of assessment. Challenges that I came up with, I had sleepless nights trying to develop an accounting assignment with research skills. As I said earlier, accounting is calculate, calculate, calculate. So when you come up with something, go and find, the students get overwhelmed. Right? They are so frightened. And I really need to do a lot of work to get their motivation to go ahead and do it, and it's not that difficult as they think. Acceptance from other stakeholders at foundation level. Our program is also offered on school-based throughout the region. So they are a bit resistant because the high school teachers think of accounting is just problem solving and not going out to find. Makes it quite difficult and challenging for me to get them convinced. Continuity into the degree program. I know 100 level accounting is doing, I'm not sure what the other courses are doing. So that becomes a challenge. Students then go on to accounting, AFF or 101, they do. Maybe another course, economics, that they do as another major does not have it. Training of teaching staff, especially we have regional part-timers out there and they are not so familiar with this type of assessment, so that's another challenge. And of course, resource limitation makes it difficult. And so, from the challenges identified, I then see that the university maybe, or my section really needs to provide this assistance in providing training. I have said that many times, but it's not happening. Implementation across all programs in the university that will enhance the skills that we really want to develop in our students. So thank you very much for listening to me. And there's honesty all the way. In Nakapakalevo, Danivat, and Koyeksia. Any questions?